welcome. Thank you guys. It's Monday, and I'm with one of my favorite people to cut up with on air, Darren James. If you guys don't know Darren's one of the top real estate professionals in the country, definitely in the top in Louisiana. But what I'm more impressed with is Darren's time management, how he manages his day, his discipline. That's what I want to talk about a little bit today. He actually spoke with my team about 2-3 weeks ago, and my guys in Florida were upset we didn't record the call.
Oh no, I gotta get back on there.
Yes, yeah.
Get back on there.
Well, we're gonna go down to Palm Beach and go do a live.
Let's go do a live over there.
Event down there.
Absolutely.
Never miss an excuse to go down and visit my guys in Palm Beach.
never miss an excuse for a trip.
I think my other offices are gonna get jealous over time, though.
Well, we'll have to go there too.
Exactly. So, one thing Darren's been doing, and if you guys follow Darren on social media, we were just joking. We were talking about, do I look fat on camera?
Yeah.
Okay. But Darren's lost a considerable amount of weight, gotten in much better shape, and we've talked about fitness. We've talked about working out for years. What was the final paradigm shift? Because I know you've started and you've made some gains, but this is the first where I've really seen like that next level of commitment and transformation.
I woke up one morning and looked at myself in the mirror and said, "This has got to go. It's got to start over." And I have to. I just didn't like the way I looked in the mirror.
Yeah.
And I said, I got to fix something. And so I just started on a journey at that point. 8.5 months ago, I was at 248 pounds, and now I'm down to 190.
Really?
Today. So for about 58 pounds.
Wow.
And so it's been a blessing, and I think the lowest I'm going to get to 185. I don't want to look sickly by any means, but I want to. I just want to continue trimming, and I don't want to get to like this big muscles, and that's not what I'm working toward. I just want to get fit, and I just want to get lean, and I want to be cut.
Yeah,
and that's big. That's it.
Healthy and fit, and that's key as we get a little bit older. You know, we're in our 40s now, so. That's an important thing. And Darren is one of the top producing, not only you run a team at EXP, you've now done some expansion groups in some other markets. I talked to you, Lafayette, where else have you done so?
Building them out in Houma and Thibodeau.
Yeah.
Building some in Houston, Texas right now. Got some going in Scottsdale, Arizona. Anaheim, California. Some in Florida and Georgia.
All right, so going nationally now with some different.
I'm trying to hone in all the to be unstoppable in life or in business, whatever. I basically think it has to do with 3 things: mindset, skill set, and daily habits. And I think where most people get caught up in is that either the mindset portion or the daily habits portion of it. The skill set can be learned.
Right.
And so I'm trying to perfect. Talking about before I go nationally, I'm trying to perfect the local, hyper-local areas here. I got my team running great in Baton Rouge. The team in Lafayette's doing great as well.
Yeah.
I'm trying to perfect that process,
right,
and those people to give a great product and to the consumers. And that's what we're always working toward. And what keeps me up at night is the process part of it. It's technology changes every day. And it's so hard to keep up with the changes that algorithms change, search engine optimization changes, everything changes, funnels change, AI changes everything. It's just so many different variables that go into the running a business in today's world, as opposed to how business is usually done. And it's just a challenging process for them.
So, all these offices, different time zones. You start your day 4 or 5 a.m.
4 or 5.
I want to kind of talk about that because you mentioned the daily habits.
Sometimes it's 3:30 if I got to pee.
Right, can't fall back asleep.
Can't go down. I don't know.
Yeah. So daily habits, I think, is the make or break.
Right.
Definitely, I find that's where most people fall off. I had a meeting with my team, and that's what I keep harping on. The daily habits with your time, how you manage your day. You've lost 50 pounds since we had our event back in March when we started talking about time to make a change.
That's right.
And you and I, we were at the casino the other night. Your wife's playing slot machines, and you and I went upstairs.
It worked out.
It worked out.
That's right. We did.
Yeah, that's the difference. And but how do you manage the time? Because everyone always has the excuse, I'm busy. That is the most bullshit excuse there is. We're all busy, but are we really? You know, like we're busy doing a lot of nonsense a lot of times and we're not productive. So how do you manage your day from 4 a.m. till I see you posting at the gym at 8, 9, 10 p.m. a lot of nights? How are you juggling all that? And how do you keep your calendar under control?
It all comes down to mindset. You know, I have to be disciplined, and that's where a lot of people fail. You're absolutely right. Most people fail mindset, skill set, and daily habits. Most people even fail in the mindset portion of it. And exactly what you just said. Excuses are work too. It takes a lot of work to make up excuses of why you should do something. And you have to look at your world, and I look at my world as, okay, Darren, is it one day for you or is it day one for you? And I had to do that. I really did. I had to analyze my reasoning for really doing this and how do I manage all that. I time block everything. And that's one of the things I mastered was the ability to time block. I can get done in 2 hours when most people it takes them all day to do. Just because I'm hyper-focused and I work so fast, I'm very efficient when it comes to work. And there's a huge difference between being busy and being productive. You know, a lot of people say, oh my God, I'm so freaking busy. But what actually gave, we talk about DPAs, dollar productive activities in our business, right? What dollar productive activities have you done in your business to attribute to either number one, getting better people, improving your people, right? How do you build others and grow others? Whether it's your clients, give them hope, have them with positive expectations. Your team members, if you're running a team, how do you grow them, right? Improve the process. How do you improve the process of your business, whatever business you're in, real estate or some other industry? How do you improve that process? And then how do you give a great product to the consumer? And that's what it all boils down to. And so I've been very dedicated, even when I was working 3 jobs at one point in my career. I worked at the Louisiana State Police for 10 years and was working in real estate and was working also in retail, 2 of those jobs. 4 jobs theoretically to do it. So I got really, the busier I am, the more productive I am.
Right.
And they say you want to get something done, you give it to someone who's extremely busy.
Yeah.
That's a true statement because I work, the more stressful the situation is, the higher I perform. And that's just the way I'm wired. I don't know why.
That's a good thing. No, and that's people who perform well under pressure. You mentioned busy. I was talking before we went live, and I think it bears repeating. I find it amusing when I'm talking to someone and they're negative and they are frustrated. Oh my God, I'm so busy. It's Monday. Like I said, today was a great day. I haven't stopped. And I always catch people a little off guard when they start venting and talking about how busy they are. I always say, thank goodness you're busy. If you weren't, you'd be broke.
Absolutely.
And when I say that, their whole tone changes. And they go, it's a good point. And we, a lot of times complain, not us, but people in general, it's like people want to complain about how busy they are, all the stuff they've got to do. And it's like this kind of woe is me. And again, it's just that mindset shift. Be glad you're busy.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We're in an economy, I call it Bidenomics right now, that's bankrupting people across the country. So if you're busy, be really freaking thankful that you're busy right now.
Right.
Because there's a lot of people who are starving, who can't find business, who their businesses are going under, or their job is cutting hours, cutting pay, cutting workforce. So when you're busy, that's a good thing. But you brought up a great point that we talk about a lot. There's busy and there's productive. I found I was always super busy and I was always multitasking. And 20 years ago, or 23 years ago, when I got into mortgages, multitasking was something that was looked at as a skill. And then years later, more intelligent productivity coaches will show you that multitasking is actually bullshit and you're ineffectively doing multiple things. Instead of, like you said, you'll get a lot done in 2 hours because you're hyper-focused on that one task.
Right.
And I think that's where I've made that shift over the years where I have, like you said, blocks of time. Like this time to this time is originating new business. this time to this time might be planning for the show. This time to this time is recruiting, and then the rest of the time might be systems and technology development, because kind of like you, we're trying to develop things for our mortgage company to go national. We're recruiting people all over the country to same idea. It's like building teams. And I brought Darren on here, and why I always love talking with Darren is I always tell Darren, you know, his strengths are where a lot of my weaknesses are, and I'm improving, but still not where he's at with time management, the schedules, the technology side of it. Like what you do is phenomenal. How you manage your schedule, you're hyper focused in your time blocks, and you're extremely punctual for every appointment. I've never seen you ever late for anything.
Never, ever.
And I'm sorry, I got to pick on our realtors out there. It doesn't go for 99.9% of you guys.
I am never late. My dad told me that a long time ago, and I am never late. If I'm late, something is wrong.
Yeah.
And that's a true statement. And then the reason why they're talking about that, that brings up a good point. So the reason why I'm never late, let's talk more about that. If I'm like this morning, perfect example, I had a listing appointment at 10 o'clock, okay? I arrived on the street of the listing appointment at 9:20. So what did I do? I called the seller. I said, hey, I'm a little early for my appointment. Would it be okay if I go ahead and come in for our appointment now? Or would you rather me wait till 10 o'clock? Because I didn't know if they were getting ready or whatever the case was. He said, no, come on right in. Well, that gave them extra time to talk to me and answer questions. But it also gave me extra time if I do my normal presentation. I'm going to finish up 30 minutes early.
You're ahead of schedule.
I'm ahead of schedule at that point. So if something were to delay on the back end of something else for one of the other appointments that I had 7 appointments today. And on one of the other appointments, if it got delayed, somebody came late, whatever the case may be, it freed me up 30 minutes of leeway. Now, if I do that for 2 times a day, look how much time I've got.
Right.
An hour. Right? Just the time. And so what do I do? Even if I arrive early, and let's just say I arrive early, right? And I called the seller this morning. He says, no, Darren, you need to stay at 10 o'clock. What do I do at that point? So I've had people ask me that question. Darren, what do you do?
You could fill some space.
I fill that space. I make calls. So still 23 years in this business, I still make 100 calls a day. To my past clients, sphere of influence, and for sale already expired.
Repeat that.
I still make 100 calls a day, still this day. Every day.
It's incredible.
I'll have to. I mean, otherwise I don't eat. And the death of a salesperson is white space on your calendar. If you don't have something that you're doing every day, dollar productive activities, you know, my funny cliche is this, is that, you know, timid or scared or those salespeople who don't do what it takes to succeed in this business have skinny children.
Because they're starving.
They're starving. That's right. And so I can't do that. I have no alternative.
Yeah.
You know, if it's to be, it's up to me. There is no alternative. Yeah. There is no backup plan. I am the backup plan.
Right.
And that's the way I've always operated my business. That, you know, I get up earlier than most people, and I work later than most people because I am worried that somebody's out there that's going to think they can work harder than me.
Yeah.
And it just don't happen.
Well, and there's someone trying to undercut you and offer a cheaper service. AI.
That's right.
AI will make 100 calls a day every day.
That's right.
Without question. And they're learning to automate that.
That's right.
I listened to an AI call the other day, overcome objections and make the sale better than some of my salespeople that I used to have on my team. I think my guys now are a little better, but some of the people I've had in the past said, shoot, that was better than some salespeople I've heard.
It's amazing what artificial intelligence is doing in our industry. I mean, we have now technology where we have to send, like, for example, this room here. This room was empty. You have a vacant house, for example, and you want to virtually stage that vacant home. And you want to virtually stage that vacant home. You can do that now through artificial intelligence. And you say, okay, what room is this? Living room, right? It's a living room. Then great. You get to choose modern, contemporary, old style, whatever it is. And
nice.
Boom. In 10 seconds, you have a virtually staged room with artificial intelligence done it. They did it for you, and it's virtually staged. I mean, it's great for $15 a month, and I got 15 rooms I can do, whereas normally I'm paying $300 for that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy the technology we have.
Well, you're not paying a staging company to fill it with furniture and then remove it. And thousands of dollars for those services. Now you can, just like when you're designing a car and you're picking the rims and the color and the interior, because a lot of people
they can't visualize it.
They can't visualize it, and I know men generally, we're very visual.
Yes, that's right.
So I want to see the car. I want to have an idea when I'm building it what it's going to do.
Yeah.
So if I can change all of a sudden now you can sell that house that's been sitting on the market.
And they can visualize what it is, what it could be.
Yeah.
You know, what it could be. I mean, now granted, it will show better in person being 100% staged by a true staging company, but some of the sellers, they just don't have the margins for that to be able to afford it. So, I mean, there's a point in time for those stagers who own staging companies, yes. But also for the virtual staging, it can give a rendition of that. Like, for example, I had a house in the Settlement Road Grove that we tried to sell. And people were like, man, this is $1 million house. It'd be great if it had a pool in the backyard and we can see it. So we virtually staged a pool in the backyard of what it could be. We put on the MLS, this is a rendering of what it could be. And people now, oh, that's what it can be. It can look like that.
Yeah.
And it won't.
We're doing one in Covington, $2.2 million house in a country club neighborhood. And the houses are sitting, obviously that price point, they don't jump off the shelves, but doesn't have a pool. And we have an amazing pool design company that is doing these beautiful different renderings and options. And so with a good offer, the seller will contribute and put in $100,000 towards a pool or whatever. You know, but if you can't put that in front of someone, and the previous agents didn't have that vision, didn't think of that as an option, you know, so that can help you make those sales that maybe they're sitting on the market because it's just someone lacked the creativity or lacked the vision to get it sold.
That's right. That's right.
So your schedule, what do you use, like some scheduling tools? Like people out there who are actually productive and hardworking and have a busy schedule, what do you use to keep you on track and for scheduling? Like when I book tonight, when I book lunch with you, I go to bookdarren.com. What do you use for all that?
So that's a system called Calendly. And I use that system and it works out great. It allows people to go, because I got tired of scheduling tennis and back and forth. A seller or a buyer would call me up and say, hey Darren, I want to go see this house, or can you come list my house? And I'll say, yeah. I said, what's your schedule like? Well, I got to talk to my wife, as they call it on the phone. Well, then I got to remember to call them back. Well, now I can just say, hey, I said, okay, no problem. I'm going to send you my calendar. Whenever you get home, just pull up my calendar. You can sit down with your wife, look at the dates, choose a date and time, we can meet, and I'll meet you at your house. And I will be on time. And this is what you can expect. And then immediately after that's booked, I send them out my pre-listing package so they know exactly what to expect when I'm there. And then we kind of move forward from there. It works out great.
And then how much time do you allocate in between? Because one fault that I've had in the past is overbooking myself. And you brought up a good point in one of our prior talks, is that in between appointment A and appointment B, how much cushion do you give yourself so that way you don't overlap or overbook yourself?
1 hour. I give myself an hour in between.
Okay.
Hours of operation. Sometimes I'll go to appointments at 9, 10 o'clock at night.
Right.
Because I don't stop working until midnight every night. I go at 4. And so I've been trying to do a little bit better with that, trying to go to bed at 11 now. Sometimes I'm in the gym at 10:30. I will not miss that. That's a dedicated, hard task. Like I'm going to be gone. As soon as I leave this interview tonight, in a short time, I'm going to be gone. I'll be out of pocket till about 10:30 tonight.
Right.
But you can bet you'll see me at the gym at 11:45 when I get all the way back from where I got to go, all the way back over here.
You got to text me for some of those late workouts.
Like I'll be there at 11:45 tonight.
Because I'm usually wanting to get an extra one in, a couple of late nights, just because every once in a while I want to do 2 workouts in a day. So kind of like you mentioned, I'm ahead.
Yeah.
That way if I need to work late one night and skip, I didn't really skip a workout.
But you got it in the morning.
Yeah. So, I got 2 in one day. That way the next day if I need to, take one off. But I always want to make sure I get at least 5 good days of weights in a week and 3 or 4 days of cardio, jiu-jitsu, something cardio-wise. And again, trying to fit that into my schedule with running the team and running the office, and still, like you and I are victims of our own success to a degree where we're still the top salesman on our team.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm waiting for the cloning to come out so I can, but AI is maybe that piece to where in a year or 2, you and I don't have to be the top salesperson on our team.
Well, I'm trying to coach the team members up. I want them to pass me up, and that's where I'm at.
Me too.
I'm trying to get them to where they can, be ahead of me. That's what I'm trying to do. I mean, I give away a whole lot of business. I remember one year I gave like $8.7 million in volume away to one agent.
Right.
And I mean, that's a lot of money.
Heck yeah, it is.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And so when you look at that, it's but I'm blessed to be able to do that.
Right.
And I love to see other people grow, and that's where I'm at in my world. Is that how can I get to the point where I can grow as many people as I possibly? That's my biggest fear, is that I'm going to leave this world unexpectedly and not be able to change the lives of as many people as I want to. That's my biggest fear.
That's powerful.
And I'm not on a platform big enough or a stage big enough or whatever it is to where I can impact as many people that I want to be able to impact. I'm not speaking enough. I don't have enough engagement. Let's put it that way.
Well, because you're still, like me, you're still in the trenches.
I am still doing
making 100 calls a day.
Still doing it.
And listing and selling to where, we're not able to get out enough.
Yep.
Like the Paul Beach event we're talking about doing, having you come speak to 50, 100 agents, however many we had, kind of like when we had the Rene Rodriguez event, 100 plus agents in that room. Having that influence, and then more of those people come on your team. And if nothing else, still, even if they're not on your team, you're like me, where even if I can help people grow who aren't on my team, it's still a win.
It's a win. It's a win for me. It doesn't matter if it's an agent doing one deal a year and trying to get to 2, or someone who did 50 deals trying to get to 100. If I can be influential in that, changing that person's life, I mean, there's balance in the world, and like there's spiritual goals, there's business goals, personal goals, and fitness goals, whatever goals are. And once those are all in, once they have synergy and they're all the way they're supposed to be, you have balance in your world. And when you get that balance, there's nothing better than just having that balance in your life, where you don't feel off kilter or out of whack somewhere, where something's missing. That's what happened to me in 2016. Is that I had my own company, and there was something I was missing in the world. I had everything. I had all the reliability. I had all the agents. I had 100% commission to myself. I owned the company. It was great. I had all the training. I had all the security. I had all the overhead. I had everything. And then I found EXP, the company I'm with now, and it's been great.
Right.
It's been great. And so, with that being said, I just it comes down to all that again. You have to growing people is where it's at in this world. How can I be instrumental in that? And that's what I look for.
Yeah. And it does go back to, I think, really just the biblical principles of servant mentality. And giving, and it's one of those things early on, being very poor growing up. I'm very transparent. For me, at first mortgage, it was just I can make how much money as a bartender with no college degree. But then as I got into management, all of a sudden it was like a whole different feeling of satisfaction. It was seeing my team win. I keep telling my guys, I want y'all to pass me up on this freaking sales board, like you were saying. I want you guys to outproduce me, so then I don't have to worry about selling another mortgage, and I can then dedicate 100% into public speaking and coaching them and helping them grow. I raced cars and go-karts, and when I was racing go-karts, I remember some of my buddies, this is before I had Asher, and they quit racing, and they're just mechanic work on their kid's go-kart. And we're at the track, and I'm like, dude, why aren't you racing anymore? Oh man, I'm prepping my son's car. And then fast forward 5 years later, Asher turns 5, I get him a racing go-kart. I start working on his go-kart. Daddy doesn't have time to work on his go-kart. But then I start watching Asher win races. And I get chills thinking about it. Like, look, I seriously get chills thinking about it. When I would watch that little sucker behind that little go-kart, and I mean, he winning races, it was even more satisfying, and I love to win. You and me. I love to win a race. I love to win at anything. But it was unbelievable, the difference, and like people say, you don't understand until you have kids of your own. But it's a similar thing, I think, when you have a team, seeing them win, because it's like your family. I mean, you work like me. I spend more time sometimes with these guys than I do with my own family. So we got a microphone. Oh, a little technical difficulty. Hang on. There we go. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
But
I'm green.
But you guys, we spend more time at work than we do at home. And so when we're with our work family, seeing those guys win, to me, is just like watching your kid win.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Seeing your, Tyler or one of these guys on the top producer board, all of a sudden, man, I taught that guy, and now look at him.
That's right.
Seeing them as top producers. I see the EXP. Well, you had a couple of your guys on there.
Four of them. Yeah, 4 of them.
Yep. Yeah. So that's exciting. It's rewarding.
It is.
And it's something that until you get to a point where all of a sudden you see your team starting to win, and you're the coach now instead of the quarterback.
That's right.
It's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. A lot of fun. It's all a mindset of abundance.
Yeah.
You leave from a mindset of abundance instead of scarcity mindset.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a talk with we're just now, we just actually got our 50 state affiliate. That way we can originate now in all 50 states. And the lender that we're partnering with, it was that same thing. We're not competing. We're both winning.
Yeah, that's right.
And they kind of like you, they have that abundant mindset instead of thinking, oh, we can't share secrets or we can't help one another because we're different competing companies. How many billion people in the United States? There's plenty of mortgages, plenty of houses to sell.
Absolutely.
Where we're not competing over it. Same thing.
Yep. Love it. Love it.
So you got some appointments this evening.
Yep.
Like you mentioned, hey, I got a busy schedule. So what's your day look like? Kind of take people
All the way through it.
But yeah, like what does your day look like? How do you allocate your time? 4 a.m., 6, 7, 8 a.m. till 7 p.m. What does that day look like?
So 4 o'clock I get up. I normally get a workout in. 30 minutes. I'll do Peloton.
Okay.
I'll do push-ups. I'll do sit-ups. I'll do some type of cardio, some type of HIIT training. I have apps that guide me through that whole entire process and how to do that.
Okay.
And so that way I can keep track of what's going on, because anything that you can measure and track, you can improve over time.
Right.
And so I track everything, including my numbers. I know all my numbers. And so that basically lasts from about 5 till, from 4 till 4:30 and 5 o'clock, somewhere around that time period. From 5 until 6, I normally read some type of devotional or some type of book. I'll read that. So I'll read anywhere between 40 to 50 books a year. This year I'm way off pace on that. I'm going to finish probably around 32 this year.
Not a bad pace then.
But it's still, I'm slowing down because I'm growing these expansion teams and it's taking some of my time.
Yeah.
And so that's a challenge right now. But I may hit it. I may pick up the pace. I'll read pretty quick. So I'll do about 32. I'm reading Tim Grover, Relentless right now.
I finished that one last
Great
month.
book. Read it. It's a really good book.
It's awesome.
But I read.
Are you a cleaner or a closer?
What do you think I am? You had to guess.
You're a hybrid.
I am.
You're a hybrid like I am.
I'm a hybrid.
Yeah. Cleaner and closer.
Yeah, that's right. It's great. Kobe Bryant's coach, Michael Jordan.
Yeah, if you guys haven't read it, Relentless.
Great book.
Yeah.
Great book. I also read Can't Hurt Me, David Downing, the recent one I read again for the second time.
I got the audio
I got
book.
the second. Yeah, I think I heard he wrote a second book, but I hadn't seen it yet.
Yeah.
I hadn't gotten it yet. But I want to read that one.
I'm listening to the Goggins audio book.
Yeah.
You know my one disappointment though is he's not narrating it.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, some
Yeah,
of
that makes a big difference.
It does,
really is huge,
man.
huge.
Suggestion to Goggins, your voice is powerful. You gotta narrate your own
That's
book.
right. It's fantastic.
It's not the same, and the guy that's doing it, his voice is just not catching my attention.
I get that.
So Tim Grover's book, the guy was great that narrates that book.
Fantastic. So there's an app on my phone that I got. In fact, kudos to Jace Harrington out in Lafayette, one of my team members out there. He told me about this app called Pep Talk.
Okay.
And so it's got all kinds of stuff. And so it says where you at. And basically, it breaks it down into segments: business, fitness, motivational, just whatever it is, whatever the genre you're looking for.
Right.
It puts it into that, and it gives you like different. They got videos that you can watch specifically on that topic.
Okay.
One of the last ones I wrote was the 5 people you meet, you become the 6th of the 5 people that you most associate yourself with. It was a great talk about that. And so just great inspirational, motivational, pick me up type stuff. So I'll listen to that, going between 5 and 6. I normally skip breakfast. I do intermittent fasting.
Okay.
My first meal is at 11 o'clock on the dot. Just
right.
Every day, 11:30, no later than that. What can I do to be more efficient in my world?
Yeah.
And so I research that while I'm there, and that way I don't forget about it. And then I'll bookmark it and I'll go back to it. So like tonight, I leave to go make my calls at 7 to a 10 o'clock appointment tonight. I won't need to get back to the University Club where I live until probably 10:30, 11 o'clock. So I'll
Okay.
get to the gym 11:30 tonight. But that's pretty much my day, and it's structured that way all the time. I work on appointments. I'm always lead generation. I'm always meeting people, attending different events, and just growing the deal. And another thing I do is do a lot of videos. So I got a call this morning from a teacher at Central Middle School that she invited me to go be a speaker at Central Middle School on the 17th.
Oh, cool.
So between now and basically the 12th, 10 days from now, I have to have this PowerPoint built about what I'm going to speak on to middle school students. To all the shout out to all the teachers out there. Thank you for what you do. But also, if any middle school teachers can contact me, I need some help on how to structure this PowerPoint. I've never taught to middle school students before, so I just need some structure or some guidance on what I should include in this PowerPoint to really make it interactive and entertaining for them. So if you can get that out, that'd be great.
Remind me when we finish. My sister-in-law teaches like 5th and 6th grade.
Okay.
I'll get you her number.
That'd be great.
When we
That's the
finish
one that
up
works
here.
at Steve?
Huh?
That's the one that works at Steve?
No, that's Natalie.
Okay.
That's so the younger of the all 4 sisters, Kate. She's a teacher out in Prairie.
Now, I'm just trying to figure out how I should structure this. I've never.
Yeah, that's a young demographic.
But I don't want to go too high above their head.
Right.
But I also want to motivate them for going into high school and give them some good core principles for leading their lives and how they can win in this world.
Yeah, we had a lady at Rotary Club who wanted to talk on the finance committee with high school kids because I learned everything the wrong way. My parents, I woke up one day at 18 to go buy a car, had no credit, so I thought, but actually had 2 collections on my credit from when I was 12 and 13 years old.
Oh, wow.
Utility and a water bill.
Wow.
Because my parents' credit was so bad, they put the utilities in my name as a kid. And so that was my first introduction to credit.
Yeah.
So these kids who don't have parents that are in finance or business or understand the principles of credit, finance, budgeting, time management, your average working class American there's no education for them.
Absolutely.
And so it's really lacking in the school system. So I think that's something that'd be good for people like you, people like me to
I love it.
go and
I
talk
just love
to
being
them.
able to speak to people and grow people. I mean, just help people get to be their best in life, live their best life. The man upstairs didn't put us on this earth just to exist.
Yeah.
He put us on this earth to have a life to thrive, and so that's what I'm trying to get to people.
Yeah. What hit me was when I realized the more people you help get what they want, that's really when the financial and all the benefits start to fall on you. It really is about helping others and you reap what you sow. All those biblical principles, like I said, as a person who was very misguided in his youth, I started understanding that so much more when I got into business, when I got into management, and stopped worrying, I need to make 100. Like I remember that was the big goal. I want to make $100,000.
Yeah.
It was just a dollar number. So how many loans do I have to close? How many calls? Which is always still good for goal setting with a salesperson. Here's what you put. The bigger picture was, what do I need to do and how do I improve? You mentioned reading books. I realized, the world pays you what you're worth. That was a painful realization when I felt like I wasn't making enough money. I was making okay money. But at the time when I read that quote, it made me completely stop and self-reflect. And the only way to get to that next level was I have to be better. It wasn't about making more sales calls anymore. I've got to be a better person, a better leader, a better father, a better contributor to the world in order to get to that next level. And that was when like you mentioned reading books. I don't do any pleasure reading right now. I get enjoyment. I love Relentless.
Yeah.
But all the books I read are personal development and sales, something to sharpen my skill set. I don't read any fiction books.
Yep, I'm saying I never had it.
Never read a fiction book. Other than in school, and I'll be honest, I got the Cliff Notes.
Yeah, I understand. Me too. Yeah, me too. Yeah, that's right. That's what we do.
So,
Well, brother, I appreciate it, man. It's fun today.
it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I know you got appointments you got to get to,
Yeah.
so we are right at our 30-minute mark, right on schedule. So you guys, again, one of the best in the business, absolutely. If you want more advice, tips, DM Darren, DM myself. Darren is one of those people, he will help anybody, give the shirt off his back, and you guys really are in it for a treat if you reach out to Darren for anything, real estate, business, advice. I think, like I said, I respect this guy. He's at the top of the field for a reason. I thank you for being on the show.
Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you.
Yeah,
Always.
absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Tune in next week.